Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this evening is 4 3-minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Firstly, in the red corner, having his 50th contest this evening, weighing in 11 stone 1, and tonight he wears the black shorts with white trim. Please welcome from Canning Town, by way of Ukraine, Mykhailo Sovtus. And across the ring in the blue corner 49. With 1 win from 1, weighing in 11 stone. And tonight he wears the white shorts with sky blue trim. Please welcome from Maidstone, Kent, JimmyDean Wood. Your referee is Mr. Mark Bates-Pauly, now giving his final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, when I tell you to break, you take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to both gents.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 3-minute rounds.
Seconds out, round 1.
Mark Bason's the referee, JimmyDean Wood, who will be 21, I believe, next week. In his second pro outing, a really eye-catching beginning to his career. The one-time Kent Gloves amateur boxing club member, won numerous national titles, featured at the 2019 European Junior Championships. So a little bit of a buzz around his pro debut in Maidstone. It was a great atmosphere that night, and a different environment for a youngster turning professional. He handled it all superbly, I thought, against Elliot Egbiogbe, who was a real handful. Different kind of opponent tonight, not as quick, but a solid operator. Sovtus, 50th pro fight, doesn't want it to be a night when he's disgraced in any sense, but that first minute again tonight, to me, Darren, reinforces that JimmyDean Wood is tailor-made for professional boxing. It's the way he moves.
You said a moment ago, Paul, about an esteemed amateur. I believe he's a multiple-time national champion, and you could see that in the stuff which he does. In the opening 10 seconds of the round, he threw a beautiful 1-2, and the way that he just switched it up to the body and threw the lead hook under the elbow of Sovtus was textbook stuff. And it's one thing doing it on the mitts with a trainer, and it's another thing doing it in the bag, and then it's a completely different thing putting it off with a live opponent.
JimmyDean Wood has hurt his opponent to the body and continuously goes down.
Sovtus is feeling these. It's such a measured tempo from Wood. It's very confident. When I spoke about personality, I meant it in the sense of his professional aura. Nothing to do with what he says, it's how he does what he does.
Another great shot to the body.
The fact that Wood is getting through with these shots and hurting Sovtus, and you can tell he's hurting him because the facial expressions are telling us that, is good going, because he is one seriously tough man.
Sovtus has been stopped in his tracks on quite a number of occasions in this opening round. He's probably beginning to say to himself now, and he's been through a lot before tonight, Darren, this really is lively. They told me he was good, but the kid is really good. It's got that stamp of it to me at this moment.
But here he is still firing back, and that was a big, horrible right hand which he threw back to the body of Wood. And it's those type of shots which are going to have to keep him on his toes.
What a good beginning to this second pro outing this has been from JimmyDean Wood.
That was a very good round. The only thing missing from that round that would have made it pitch perfect is a knockout. Very good round.
Well, with Sovtus, he's, with all the respect in the world, technically not very great. He kind of just walks forward and keeps taking shots, but I guess the way that he throws his shots in such an unorthodox manner can sometimes, for fighters like, well, professional fighters, be quite difficult to read because you're so used to that compact boxing style, aren't you?
Can do, yes. I mean, you can see how much hype is around this man. He's even got Moses Atuma coming down to support him, which probably says a lot about him.
Well, it's become a real little hotbed down there in that area of the country, the southeast. A lot of these young fighters, of course, are coming up to the capital to work under Alan Smith, who's in the corner again tonight.
Seconds out, round 2.
JimmyDean Wood actually hails from Tenterden, which is, I'm told, about 20 miles from Maidstone, but he's part of the local firm, led by the Noakes brothers. There's one or two other good kids from Maidstone itself who've turned pro now as well. I think he's quite happy to be associated with that little movement.
It's a lovely backhand uppercut and then turned over a lead hook from JimmyDean Wood a moment ago. But one of the things I think you've got to be careful with when you're fighting Sovtus is not thinking that you've got him hurt. Because I remember watching Reece Mould do exactly the same thing. And every time he felt like he'd got him hurt or thought he had, he really hadn't.
Very good point, Darren. Sovtus just seems to shrug it off. He's looking at the moment like he's going to be under pressure all the way. Wood has the height, the reach, he's got the angles, he's got the sharpness, he's got the confidence of youth. It's completely stacked against the 32-year-old Sovtus. But he just keeps trudging forward whenever the chance comes, trying to tuck up like that and getting ready to take the next hard shot. And there are some hard shots being landed here.
There are, and Sovtus is trying every trick in the book. About 3 or 4 times in 20 seconds he stepped on the feet of JimmyDean Wood, but he didn't let it get in the way of his mindset, just stuck to his boxing, and he's timing those straight shots nicely now. As Sovtus is coming in and making an entrance, he's getting through with those straight left hands and quite often the jab too.
Tempo's dropped just a little bit in this round. Probably to the advantage of Sovtus, but it's all relative. Wood is still the boss in a big way.
There's that straight left hand again of Woods. He throws it really nicely. The taller of the two fighters. He just puts his weight behind it.
We were speaking in the preceding fight about, in a sense, a one-armed fighter. Completely different story. This is the point, isn't it? It more than doubles the impression you make.
It does, and what Wood also does nicely is everything comes off well from that jab. Yeah. He kind of ends with the attack. He starts the attack with a jab, but he ends with it almost always.
Nice little shot, which carried a little bit of sting to the rib cage during that last salvo as the bell approached. Wood's enjoying it, and we're enjoying watching him. Masood, over to you.
Sovtus looks, every time he gets caught, he looks like he's hurt, but then he comes back. I mean, I find that bizarre. It looks like he's ready to go, and then he comes back. I think that's brilliant. I don't know, like, it keeps you at the edge of your seat.
I remember watching, as I said earlier on, Reece Mould fighting him, and exactly the same thing happened.
Moses Atama in the house tonight. What an exciting announcement for him, as the Dillian White contract apparently is confirmed. That's what we're being told anyway. And a big learning fight in every sense that will be for the real heavyweight hot prospect.
Seconds out, round 3.
A brand new prospect, JimmyDean Wood. 2 rounds into only his second pro fight. A very good showing here tonight at the York Hall Bethnal Green so far. We're live on Box Nation on YouTube. Welcome everybody if you're just joining us. Cracking card as usual. A lot of prospects. We've got a really entrancing, enthralling 10-rounder for the Southern Area Super Featherweight title at the top of the bill later tonight. So stealing the show is not going to be easy, but Wood is making a fair stab at it at the moment.
He's a very efficient fighter as well as Woods. He doesn't waste a lot. His accuracy's good. And even if he just nips his man, he still gets through, and the sweat bounces off his head and glimmers in the brightness of the light, showing the ref that he is landing.
Another thing I really like about this kid is he looks to me like he loves what he does. And I know it's very early, and the long, hard road will provide tests, and there's going to be pain and there's going to be suffering. But it looks to me like this is a young man who wants to be a successful professional boxer. He's not doing it because he's been forced into it, is what I'm saying, or because he's short of options. He's a good-looking kid. And the name rather fits, doesn't it, Jimmy Dean? I'm sure there are lots of other options, but he's chosen this road in life as though it's his vocation.
And you can tell by his facial expressions, Paul, that when he lands a good shot, there's a little smile there where he says to himself, nice one, Jimmy, pleased with that one. And then he gets back to work again. It's good to admire your work every so often.
Another very good round for Jimmy Lee. However, Sovtus looks like he's actually landing some good shots of his own.
He's closing the range a bit better, I will say that. I think Wood, to a degree, is allowing that to happen here, Masood.
He is. I think he's taking his foot off the gas slightly.
Somebody just shouted, put the pressure back on, Jimmy. I see the point, but maybe in the corner they won't mind just seeing how he reacts with a small little plot shift in this round. They're actually deep in conversation right now about that in the corner. Eddie Lamb is in there tonight with Alan Smith.
That was a really lovely straight left arm which was thrown by Woods. The timing was brilliant, and Sovtus must have felt that one in his boots.
So now he looks to close the round strong, Wood. The bell's imminent, here it comes. Sovtus saying, well done.
He really looked like he was enjoying that towards the end of that round. He wasn't just boxing then. He looked like he was genuinely having a good time.
Alan Smith very animated.
Holders, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Fourth and final round.
Real classy showing tonight here at the York Bethnal Green so far from JimmyDean Wood. Mykhailo Sovtus has been on the end of it. Right and left combinations all through the 3 rounds from Wood.
But I'll tell you what, Paul, I just counted 9 shots which Wood threw. There's 10, and 9 out of the 10 of them got through.
Yes. Stiffened the legs a bit, that, didn't it, for Sovtus?
Again, he looks like he's hurt, and then he just shrugs it off.
It's amazing. He's lost 43 times. He's only been stopped 5 times in that, in a now 50-fight career. The power of willpower.
And credit to Sovtus. Look, he's still having a go. Still having a go. Nothing puts him off.
Wood certainly controlling in very, very convincing fashion in this round. Didn't quite have it all way in the preceding round.
And the way that Wood has boxed this evening, it gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling that we're going to see him doing some pretty good things in the future. And he's going to have some tougher tests, some technically better tests, that's for sure. But I do get that feeling that we will talk about being here that night when he boxed that super tough Ukrainian Sovtus at York Hall.
His first York Hall appearance. I really like watching him, I've got to tell you. And sometimes, I'm sure people are sick of my voice anyway, but just letting him speak for himself in terms of his quality. And again, I use that word about him as a boxer, his personality as a boxer. Very good indeed.
He reminds me a little bit of a young Billy Joe Saunders in the way that he boxes in that southpaw stance and everything behind that jab.
He's really given us a thorough demonstration of his quality throughout that, JimmyDean Wood. Well done once more, Mykhailo Sovtus, for staying the course and apparently without any serious damage, so he'll continue earning at an early opportunity. JimmyDean Wood, a stylish looking young man, but we're not here because it's a beauty contest. We're here looking at professional boxers and talented kids like him, and there's just something a little bit special about this young man. Mark Bateson's calling them together as we look at these highlights. Again, it's a highlight reel showing in many ways again tonight from JimmyDean Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee scores the contest 40 points to 36. The winner from Maidstone, Ked, JimmyDean Wood.
Good support too.